All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about process mapping. And I want you to think of it like this. We're basically going on a journey to find the hidden roads that control whether your projects fly or totally fall apart. You know that feeling, right? Where everyone is working their tails off, but you're just not making any real progress? It feels like you're stuck in quicksand. Well, this isn't because people aren't trying hard enough. It's because there's this invisible landscape under your feet, and it's trapping you. So, the big question is, how do you get out of that quicksand? Well, you have to start by understanding what's actually pulling you down. We're going to look at that invisible friction that just grinds almost every project to a halt. And here is one of the biggest culprits right here: handoffs. Seriously, every single time a piece of work moves from one person to another or one team to another, there's a huge risk. Information gets lost, context gets dropped, and little delays just start piling up. These are the weak links in the chain. Okay, so to fix those broken links, you need a map. But you can't just draw a map out of thin air, right? First, you gotta understand the terrain, and that means breaking down your work into its most basic fundamental pieces. So let's be clear, a process isn't just some boring to-do list. Not at all. Think of it more like the DNA of your organization. It's the core system, the what you do, that takes all your team's skills and tools and turns them into something valuable. And if the process is the blueprint, the what, then the workflow is the crew on the ground actually building the thing. It's the how. It's the actual movement, the coordination between all your people and your systems that gets things done. And what's so cool is that when you strip it all down, pretty much every single process follows this really simple flow. You've got inputs, stuff like data or raw materials. Then you've got activities, that's the doing part. And finally, you get your outputs, the finished product. This applies to everything, and once you get this, you're ready to start mapping. But here's the kicker. Most of the time, these processes and workflows are completely invisible. They just live in people's heads, right? So this next part is all about taking what's hidden and dragging it out into the light so everyone can see it. And that is what mapping is all about. It's the act of creating a shared picture, a single source of truth that everyone can look at. It's how you take that messy, chaotic reality of day-to-day work and shape it into a clear, disciplined system that actually works. Now, before you start drawing the paths on your map, you need to know who's on the journey. Who are the explorers? You have to define the roles. And this isn't about job titles. It's about making it crystal clear who has the authority and responsibility for each part. They're like the human scaffolding holding the whole thing up. And an absolutely brilliant way to organize these roles is with a swim lane diagram. It gives each role or team its own lane, which makes it instantly obvious who does what. There's no more confusion. No more, "I thought you were doing that." It's all right there. And this really gets to the heart of it. Making a process visual isn't about drawing a pretty diagram. It's about revealing the truth of how work actually gets done. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You're making the invisible visible, so you can finally deal with it. Okay, so we've drawn our map. Now the real fun begins. Now we can actually use it to navigate the terrain. We can spot the roadblocks, avoid the pitfalls, and find the fastest, smoothest way to get where we're going. And you know what's amazing? The second you have a map, the bottlenecks just scream at you. They jump right off the page. You can instantly see where work is piling up, what's holding everything back, and once you see it, you can finally fix it and get things flowing again. The map also shows you other dangers, like gaps. Think of these as little black holes in your workflow. They're the spots where information gets dropped, someone forgets to follow up, and tasks just fall through the cracks. Mapping these lets you build bridges over them. The ultimate goal of this whole journey, the real treasure at the end of the map, isn't just about being faster or more efficient, it's clarity. It's that feeling of confidence when every single person on the team knows exactly who does what, when they do it, and why. That clarity is powerful. And that's maybe the most important takeaway here. Process mapping doesn't magically make complex work simple. It can't. What it does do is make that complexity understandable. It gives you and your team a way to wrangle it, to manage it, and to master it together. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. In your world, at your job, what's the one invisible process that's just waiting to be mapped out? And what do you think your team could really achieve if everyone could finally see that same path forward?